Good morning. We're on the hill over here, pulling them off the creek. It's usually a day or two process, so we're going to get it started today. We're going to be working our way to the pens. Probably going to go ahead and pull calves off and get them started on the process of taking them to the sale. Right here's one of our full Mashona heifers right there. No tag. I'm gonna have to get a tag on that little sucker. She's a nice one. Then back there is 105, the cow with the horns, or the heifer with the horns. Like I was saying, look at this heifer right here. This is a Mashona Angus heifer right here. The heifer back here with the horns, there's her little baby. Right in the middle there. That she is out of, and I said this wrong on a previous video, that 105 with the horns, she is an AI heifer out of a bull that was called number 22 from New Mexico. And I cannot think of his name. I'm so sorry right now. The guy that actually originated the Mashona's here. And so we have two of those. She's one, and then there's another one in here that's another black heifer. So I think her number's 105. No, this is 105, so the other one's 106. Anyway, you know, I hate to pull calves off right now because this is when they will really blow up. However, we're not out of the drought, guys. I know Pure South Pastures has had torrential rain. I think last I looked he had 9 inches and water everywhere, and we've been in that scenario also, and it's miserable. It's just a rough deal. We're swinging the other way still. We've had, this will be our fourth or fifth year if it turns out dry, which it hasn't. We didn't get a lot of rain this winter, so we're still not out of the woods. We still have some very old cows. Here's one right back this way. The sun's kind of in the eyes, but you can kind of see her shape a little bit. Here's another one right here that we're looking at. This is a very old cow right here. So we'll work on that. We'll get at least a pot that we're going to go with, and then we'll start there and we'll work from there. Once I get those gone, then the heifers that are in the other herd will move over to this main herd, and that'll help us because we'll get more rest on our pastures. They're still coming off the creek down there, which is expected. Two bulls in here and they got to battle each other. It'll take a while here, but we're going to start easing them down towards the gate. And I didn't want to open the gate until all of them were here, because I don't want any of these that kind of hang close to the gate. I didn't want them to get a jump on anybody, the ones that were out working. World's Greatest hates them. She just doesn't like how they look. And but I mean, they are go-getters. Look at them. They're running. They're running. I'm like, let's go. See, we got quite a bit of clover coming, which was expected this year because we're so short. The forage was so short, so there was a little bit of clover seed that was able to get going, which is not necessarily a bad thing. That one year, if y'all saw where I had baled my neighbor and I, his stuff, I just helped, and then we split the bales, which was great. And it was clover hay. Boy, that was fun. Ow! Come on, lady. 107. She must have had her baby. Back off here out of the way. Oh man, I was going to try to get a count. Well, that's over. That's over, isn't it? Doggone it. Hey, you gotta go the other way, lady. Other way. Hey. 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 That way. Go over the way. Some cows just don't get it. There's some cows that they just don't observe and adjust as much as others. They just kind of go with the flow, and they don't pay attention to the gate they're going through, and they come up here and stand right here and like, I don't know what to do, while all these other ones are going through. You got a feel for those. I made a trip over here. Actually, I've been making trips over here for probably a week or so, just looking, trying to get as much goodie as I kind of can out of this pasture, because my other pastures need a tremendous amount of rest. Like I was saying earlier, we've been in a severe drought, and that included this winter. And there's that little Mashona heifer right there. Well, she's pretty. Let's see how calm she is. Anyway, so I've been checking over here just to kind of see what the pastures are doing, and so during that process, I've seen, quite a few cattle back over here where they're coming from, but I just couldn't get a feel if they were all there. Well, there's quite a few of them. At first, I thought, as of yesterday, I didn't think they were even close to all being there. Well, I probably just didn't see them all, but I think they're pretty close to all being there. I'll have to run the whole bio, and like I was saying, it'll take a couple days to probably verify that they're all kind of out of here, and which it's important that we get them all right now, because we are pulling, like I said, we're pulling the big calves off, and that's so we can get them ready to sell and to give the cows a chance to just kind of double their condition improvement, because they'll stop producing milk, and then they'll start putting all that energy into their body, so that way we can be in the right body condition when we start calving in mid-June to late June. That's how that is supposed to work. So come on, decent little bull. We'll probably try to keep him. I mostly keep blacks, but I'm not opposed to keeping a red if a nice red comes through. It'll just make it that much harder to verify that the calf is out of Elvis, and that's something I want to know, because Elvis is king. He sure is thick. I told y'all before that I got him from my folks, and I paid as much money as I've ever paid for a bull, and he was, I don't even remember. He was old, at minimum 8, and I was tickled that I got a chance to buy him. And anyway, I was talking to my dad about him, and they had an AI barn set up at the front of the chute. And those of y'all that don't know what an AI barn is, or an AI facility type of thing. It's just a little enclosed, trailer / building that has a couple of, this one has a couple of alleys in it, where the animals, the heifers or the cows come in, and you'll stop them in those alleys, and then the vet or whoever's doing the AI and has got all their stuff over here, and he can just get in there and get them, and it's kind of dark and enclosed, and it's just, it calms them down. So the theory is they're calmer, so they'll have a higher success rate on AI in them. I don't know. Anyway, for some reason, Elvis was coming up through the alley and into our normal chute, and then we have the AI box set up on the other side of the chute, so he had to pass through that AI box. Well, y'all have seen a video of him, how thick he is when he starts packing it in. When he really starts consuming what he likes to consume. He got stuck in that thing. And they said, my dad said that he just took his time and just kind of, worked himself back and forth, going forward until he finally got out. That's a special bull, that's a special bull. Hey, good morning. Okay, so the last video, the cows are moving in the right direction as far as condition, and they're still moving in that direction. And the other part of that is we're moving them towards the pens. And I don't know that you guys recognize that, but typically when I'm moving them off of the creek, or the big creek, we're heading towards the pens, and that's what we're gonna do. It's time to pull the big calves, and I'm not 100% sure what I'm gonna do cow-wise on this round. I've got to get rid of some more cows for various reasons, for drought reasons, for stocking rate reasons. I'm keeping heifers, so I need to get rid of cows to compensate. And so I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to do that this round. It's going to make it very confusing if I try to do it while we're pulling the big calves. We just don't have that many pens to kind of contain stuff. So odds are we're going to let the cows go another round. They'll pack on some more weight, and then we'll do it. But I've still got cattle down on the creek, down on the big river, off down in that area. Actually, they're way back down here. But they should be hearing us. The problem is they've still got lots of feed in there, just like right here. And so there's a handful, I say handful, I want to say there's around 50 to 60 head. And I guess I'm going to have to go get them. I was hoping I could just hang out here a little bit this morning and get some video and just kind of look at that. This is part of it. This is the part that you want to just take time to enjoy. Being with the animals, watching the animals, looking at the bull calves. That's a nice little bull calf. He's probably going to be one that will keep. He looks like a Mashona, but he's a cross. His mama's a slick-haired. Here she is. But it's just, and then a morning like this morning, it's spring and the sun's out and finally the grass is growing and all that stuff. And so we're just sitting here and enjoying that. And like I say, getting a little bit of video and listening and hoping that those cows that are way down there are going to, for some reason, change their mind and head this way. Because we are fixing to move this herd one more pasture over, and I sure would like for them to be closer. All right, let's start moving them towards the creek, and we will get these babies crossing. Granny, she thinks she's gonna beat me. I may just shut the gate on them right here. That'd be pretty funny. Actually, that'd be real funny. Hey, whoa, whoa. Slam on the brakes, ladies. Ah, yeah. They're like, hey, what the heck are you doing? Golly, I don't know if I can get that to shut. That's pretty funny. There we go. All right. It's gonna be funny. I'll go head over and open the gate, then I'll come back and let them out. I thought this was going to take about 5 minutes this morning. That's not going to be the case. But it is what it is. Come on! What's up, ladies? What's up, girls? Ooh. I'm looking for 105 and she is not in there. There's one I raised with the single horn. She was born here on this place. The other ones all came from my folks. And I do not see, I've got an older cow in here somewhere. There's a black orange tag right back over there. She's running with this group. They're all gobby fat. Of course, they haven't had their calves yet, which that's partly why they're fat. But the other part is they just kind of go eat where they want to. Woo! Come on. Here's some more Mashonas. I've got one calf in there we'll need to get off. figures. But it appears that there's a bulk of them that haven't come. Now, I've located 25 to 40 on the other side of the river right now, and I'm trying to get them to come to me. There he is. Donnie all in. Hey, Donnie, I'm going to go look for cattle. You want to go? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready.
No, he's been over here looking for mushrooms.
Found some.
Found some. That doesn't surprise me. Okay, we've been looking for these cattle for 4 days now. I had them located a Friday. I had Coach come over Saturday because I know that they were doubling back on me in the woods and across the river, and we couldn't find them. They had disappeared from where I left them. And so now it is Tuesday, and World's Greatest Juniors over here, and we just located them Tuesday morning. They're way down here on the Bermuda Triangle, and they're still trying to cut back and forth across both of these creeks, which is one of them's the big creek, one of them's another wing of that creek. And I suspect that they've maybe been doing this for a while. But I've got World's Greatest Junior positioned where I think the days of eluding me are fixing to be over. They're going to go back across. I better go. That's the ringleader right there. That orange tag, she's too young to be that smart. So, or stupid, however you want to put it. Hop. They got wide open trail on the other side of those trees where they can go straight that way, which is where I need them to go. And she keeps cutting in here. See, she knows if she gets across this creek, then I got to go all the way around. I need to at least get them down here to the nose of the triangle. Now you watch. If she gets too far ahead of me, she's going to start curving in. Good news is the rest of them are still coming, even though I'm ahead of them. And there she goes. This is good though. You can see all the calves in here that I have been putting off bringing them to the pens. I've got the bulk of them in the staging area, and I've been putting this off because I knew there was some out here that I could not get located. They just kept dingle-dorking me around, and I feel like we've got them now. But I'm not leaving them. I'm going to stay with them until we get them all the way over there, unless it gets dark on me. They're not just running plumb off. They're just slowly trying to rub me off at every instant. But we just went past a real deep ravine. Hop, hop! Real deep ravine, and they just cut across. Once they got around it, they cut back along it real quick, knowing I had to come out of the woods and come around like they did. And so I had to hustle back over this way and get kind of back in position to keep them from going across the creek again. So they've got it figured out. Hop, hop. It's usually not an issue because when I call, everything comes, but I think that for some strange reason, they're just not even worried about coming to new pasture. I can't quite figure out what that is. Yeah, finally. This is really not bad. They're just going through here grazing as they go. Really, that's what all of them need to do. The problem is the bulk of them just walk through here and keep right on trucking because they know that down on the south end, the forage is in total sun, 100%. And so they beat it down there, and these just kind of keep easing through here, which, you know, I don't know which is better. I guess it's best if they beat it down there and get the good stuff first, and then they start working back and eating this instead of eating that down there to the ground, which they won't. Which leads me to my next comment. We've got to get this river pasture split back up into little paddocks. At one time we had this in 10-acre paddocks, and the flood of 2015 took all the water tubs and fences and 90% of the posts, and we never have built them back. The only thing I've ever built is temporary, and I have done that before. I've done temporary across this all the way down this bayou for 4.5 miles, split it into 20-acre sections as I went along, and it'll run a lot of cattle. But that's not very sustainable because you just don't want to do it every day, constantly. Anyway, they're moving. Okay, we finally started having a little success. I finally just started trusting them a little bit and letting them think that they knew where to go. And it's working a little bit better. I'm just kind of trailing them. They're cutting through these woods, which I wanted to keep them out along the fence because they're easier to control, but they're wanting to conserve energy, which I don't know why I look at them. But they're wanting to conserve energy and cut through on a straight line. So I'm just following. Well, we got them. It's taken us, I guess, 4 days and 2 people, and I guess today was almost non-stop. I got the goats taken care of and the guard dogs, and then the heifers moved. Then the rest of the day we've been working on these cattle, this group of cattle right here. They're not wild. They're just they just don't come when I holler at them. So we've got to work on that. I told you before, I want them to do both. I want them to come, and then I want them to drive. And they're driving okay. They're not just going when I start them in a direction, which is what they should do. If you let off on them at all, they stop and start eating. For me, I would rather be able to stop them myself, and then that's when they know they should eat. But whatever. Nobody's perfect. Hey, good morning. Well, we are on the final step of bringing the cattle in tomorrow to sort the calves off. We've had them in the staging pasture while we've been trying to gather cattle off the bayou, if you've watched previous videos here, and it's been a chore, to say the least. And I'm 100%. That's pretty difficult for me to say. I'm 100% on we've got every cow accounted for. You know, that's hard to do on this ranch because there's so much brush. But it's taken us a while to do it. And that means that we've left them in this staging pasture with the gate open because of calves for too long. And so now they've gone back, and I need them to get back over here today because we're bringing them in tomorrow. So that's what we're trying to get done here this morning. And hopefully they're going to decide to come on here as I'm calling them. But I don't know if you can see them, if they're too far away or not. But they're going the other way. So I'll sit here and holler at them for a little bit and see if I can't coax them to come this way. Yow! Come on! We may have to go over and change their mind, though, which is never the easiest way. Okay, I've slipped around over here behind them, just verifying that everything came across, and it appears that they did, which is outstanding. All right, I'm going to slip up here and shut the gates, and then we will be ready for morning.
Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.